My name is David Robinson, and this is my family, my wife Jenny, and we have 6 kids: Joshua, Rebecca, Gracie, Justice, Charity, and Hope. The Lord called us to be missionaries to Malawi, Africa in 2005, and we made it to the field in 2008, and that's where we've been since then. Anybody who gets off the airplane and starts spending any time around Malawi, they're going to obviously see the very deep, impoverished condition of the country. We could say like Zambia is a poor country, or you could say Mozambique or Botswana or something like that. Nobody would be surprised to hear that there's poor people in those countries, but it's absolutely nothing like Malawi. You're definitely in a 30-day period. You're talking about at least 2 or 3 times where, they tried but could not obtain food. Aside from the physical poverty that's so apparent to the naked eye, there's also a very unique kind of spiritual poverty in Malawi as well. Here in Malawi, you would be hard-pressed to find somebody who hasn't heard the name of Jesus Christ. They have this willingness and they have a respect and a reverence for God in general, but then not according to knowledge, not according to as the Bible lays it out. The vast majority of people in Malawi really believe that they have to stop all their sins and fulfill the law, keep the law, and believe in Jesus or believe in their church and get baptized and live the best life they can, and that maybe that will secure them a place in heaven. So our work here over the years has been to preach the gospel. Our first 2 churches, Charity Baptist Church and Light Baptist Church, were started in the Mzuzu area. They are both pastored by Malawian men at this point. And then in 2022, the Lord opened the door for a brand new type of ministry with Campaigns for Christ. Brother Dave Darling and Campaigns for Christ started coming to Malawi and essentially helped us to be able to do what we had been doing here in a local setting for a really long time, but to be able to do it on a bigger scale and to be able to do it in areas throughout the whole country of Malawi. You can't compare me and my family passing out a couple tracts to having, essentially 25 to 30 Americans, and then all the Malawians that get involved, and then distributing 300,000 copies of John and Romans in 10 days. And so that kind of launched us into the whole country, every nook and cranny of Malawi. The blessed hope. That's been sort of the main focus for the past 2.5 years or so, has just been, it's a really simple thing: evangelize an area and then offer follow-up classes to anybody who would want to do that and be interested in that, and then take those groups and just minister to them. As long as they came to the campaign, they got saved or they got recommitted, then we would minister to them by way of discipleship and doctrinal teaching, and then we just wait on what the Lord would do. And inevitably what we've seen God do is He puts calling on people's lives in those groups.
Amen.
Some of those people who possibly were already saved but had not really known right doctrine or anything like that. And once they get really established in good doctrine, we help them to go and they basically start a church, and we're there to help as they go through that experience. But it's their church, it's an independent church, independently funded, independent governmentally governed, and we're more or less there working with them to help them just get settled and to know what to do when they run into problems and issues. My greatest ability is to minister to the men and to continue to build out their capacity, but then to let them minister to the masses. Like, let them minister to these different churches, these different groups that are emerging throughout the country, because there's no doubt in the back of their minds, do I understand the cultural aspect properly? Is this kind of scenario, or this kind of, so as a missionary, no matter how much you learn, you eventually realize that you're always going to be learning, and you're not ever going to really be able to completely to minister like the way that a national pastor can. And so I have so much confidence in the men that we've invested into that I believe that empowering them, enabling them, encouraging them, and really doing whatever I can do to help them reach their country. That's the future that we see. Continued evangelism, continued discipleship, continue to work with groups as they go through the process of making their own decisions. When and if they become a church, continuing to invest in the ministry leaders in terms of Bible knowledge and church history knowledge and things like that.